up on Cronkite News, people living in 3 Phoenix mobile home parks have just weeks to find new homes as developers move in.
Plus, the Arizona School for the Deaf and Blind is in limbo as lawmakers delay funding needed to keep it open.
And later, cleanup efforts continue after tornadoes devastate parts of the Deep South as more severe weather is on the way.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm John Brown.
And I'm Miriam Cristal. Thank you for joining us.
Families of Periwinkle, Weldon Court, and Las Casitas home parks in Phoenix are facing displacement after an ongoing issue with landowners who've sold the land they reside on.
I spoke with residents from 2 mobile home parks who don't know what they're going to do next. A community of family, friends, and neighbors now resembles a ghost town. Josefina Ramirez and her son have been residents of Las Casitas for 18 years. They must now leave.
I have so many plants. Where am I going to put all of them?
Alondra Ruiz shares a similar story. She's lived for many years at Periwinkle Mobile Home Park and now has to pack up and go.
There's a whole bunch of families that don't have anywhere to go. Some have said they'll be sleeping in the cars, maybe friends, relatives, street. Myself, I don't know.
Last week, City Council members voted to approve a $2.5 million fund to help displaced families. This was a substitute motion to the moratorium residents were asking for. This means families living in these mobile homes, like Ramirez and Ruiz, only have a few weeks to find a new home. In a statement, Vice Mayor Yasamin Ansari from District 7 says, "It's incredibly frustrating and disheartening that my colleagues continue to share their concerns about homelessness in the valley and in my district in particular, yet they've chosen to ignore the pleas of these families facing eviction. Many have also come forward and say it's unfair the conditions they're put under."
It's just families that are going to be displaced with no possibilities of actually getting a house.
The primary residents of these parks are low-income families. Many of them say moving will be a challenge.
Many of them, well, they have families. They probably go and move themselves with a cousin or an uncle or somebody else. The ones that have it, the ones that don't have it, they probably end up being in shelters or homeless.
Luis is the son of Ramirez and says he remodeled their unit and is sad to leave it behind.
Everyone is equally stressed. Not even the children want to leave.
Ramirez is beginning to see everyone leave and stresses as she doesn't know what her next move is.
The lady over there has already left, the other lady next to her has already left, and the gentleman next to them has also left.
Though residents own their mobile homes, they don't own the land, which was sold to developers like Grand Canyon University. New questions today about the future of the Arizona School for the Deaf and Blind.
That's because the school's funding has not yet been renewed. The House passed the bill and now it's waiting on the Senate floor, where it's been for a couple of weeks. Cronkite News reporter Alyssa Munoz has more.
The school has been around as long as Arizona has been a state, but its future is unclear. Without the state funding, the schools will have to close their doors in July. The process is normally unanimously accepted, but this year it's on hold. That leaves uncertainty for staff and students. I spoke with the superintendent of the schools, and she's just as confused.
We still do not know what the holdup is about, was about. We do not know what the senators on the government committee intend to bring to that discussion.
And that was Alyssa Munoz reporting. Before the Supreme Court even makes its decision, President Biden's student loan forgiveness, is facing yet another threat, this time in the Senate. 3 Republican senators are planning to introduce a resolution to overturn Biden's debt relief program. The president would very likely veto the measure if it succeeds in both chambers of Congress, but it still matters. Votes would force Democrats who have not all supported the student loan forgiveness program to take a public stance. Biden's plan promises up to $20,000 of debt relief for eligible borrowers. Right now, the program is blocked as it awaits a decision from the Supreme Court. Turning now to Mississippi, where at least 25 people are dead after a series of tornadoes ripped through the state this weekend.
One tornado tore through the town of Rolling Fork. Early data has it rated as an EF4 with high gusts as wind at 200 miles an hour. As cleanup efforts go underway, Rolling Fork's vice mayor is still in shock, saying the town is almost entirely gone.
homes that were homes, structures that are totally demolished. Totally demolished. Everyone on this street, on this end of the street that we're on, has been displaced. I mean, there's nothing here. There's nothing here but a lot of wood, bricks, and rubbish. There's nothing here.
Volunteers, including some from Arizona, made their way to Mississippi to help with recovery efforts. FEMA is on the ground working to help displaced residents. This comes as more severe weather is expected to roll in later tonight. Making long lashes may not seem all that tough when it's your business. Those lashes can be really challenging.
Yuri Han reports on a program that's helping one woman entrepreneur make her dreams a reality, one set of lashes at a time.
Seeing how happy they are at the end of their appointment, like they feel so beautiful, and to know that they're gonna wake up like that the next day, that also makes me feel good because I contributed to that part of their happiness.
Raquel Solis runs her lash extension business, Lash Bodega, out of her South Phoenix home.
I think it's making a friendship with my clients.
And while doing lashes is easy for Solis, starting and growing a business wasn't. That's why she got involved with the Business Entrepreneurship Program through a partnership with Imagine Next Gen Institute and the Prestamos Women's Business Center.
They get a book, and every day they have to write their daily goals, then their weekly goals, and then their monthly goals, and then look back at where they're at and see how much they progress within month to month.
The program is a 12-week growth mentorship guide that helps women achieve goals they have for their business through lectures and workshops.
It means the whole world to me that they started to feel more confident and in growing their business. So not only did they get new clients, but now they have new clients in the pipeline.
Solis learned how to manage both taking care of her family and prioritizing the program. Solis says she's seen nearly a 50% increase in clients. Another huge help, according to Solis, was the guidebook. A sort of business Bible, she says, helped her manage her work-life balance and stay organized. She hopes to open a salon in the future and feels confident she can ask for help if she needs it.
The Business Growth Mentorship Program was kind of like me riding a bike with, with the training wheels. And now that I'm graduated, it's kind of like they let go and they're like, okay, like go on about your journey. I know that I can always look back to them and they'll be there to guide me.
In Phoenix, Yuri Han, Cronkite News.
And Suarez says they plan to put 2 participants for the fall and spring each year. For women who are interested, they can sign up through Imagine Next Gen Institute's website.
And coming up on Cronkite News, skateboard stamps. How one artist is representing her native community.
Plus, new data shows Americans are being more frugal when it comes to tips. Why experts say inflation is to blame. That's next.
Now streaming on the PBS app. The definitive collection of documentaries from award-winning filmmaker Ken Burns.
Hemingway, the man, is much more interesting than the myth.
It is a story that Americans have to reckon with.
He's got my job, I'm the town.
Discover over 40 groundbreaking films that bring our history to life. Stream the Ken Burns collection now with Passport on the PBS app.
General Manager of Arizona PBS. We've got so much going on here at the station.
I'm Catherine Anaya.
I'm Alberto Rios.
I'm Chef Mark Tarbell.
I'm Ted Simons.
We want everyone to know that their Arizona connection starts right here at Arizona PBS.
For over the past 60 years, Arizona PBS has told incredible stories of Arizona's distinctive people.
We got to start being more vulnerable with each other.
What I love most about being a Latina woman is the passion and drive that I feel.
Beautiful landscapes and treasured history.
We're doing something that benefits the community.
Good evening and welcome to Horizonte.
Welcome to Check Please, Arizona.
Welcome to the U.S. Senate debate.
The recipient of the Emmy is
Arizona PBS.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
The United States Postal Service recently unveiled a new set of stamps featuring skateboards.
The new stamps were created by artists from around the country, including one artist from here in Arizona. Let's go to Brianna Steele in the newsroom for more. Brianna.
These 4 stamps celebrate the art of the skateboard and were designed by indigenous artists to represent their communities that can now be seen on mail across the country. These stamps were unveiled on Friday at the Phoenix AM skateboarding competition with some of the artists in attendance.
And it's really awesome to have an indigenous artist given a platform to tell our story.
Crystal Whirl's design featured a blue and indigo salmon representing her Alaskan and Tlingit Athabascan heritage, and Arizona native Dior Greenwood was also excited to represent herself and her community through her stamp that featured the color turquoise and displays eagle feathers, an important animal to her tribe.
It's much larger than myself, but I do want to thank the Navajo and Dene community for giving me this talent, because I know these designs that I represent here are older than myself and older than the United States.
Skateboarding or sidewalk surfing has been a staple in many communities since it has started, recently making its debut in the Olympics in 2020. The United States Postal Service is always looking to honor the stories and histories throughout the United States, and skateboarding has touched many, including Federico Frumaspaz, who designed his stamp gold with a jaguar, symbolizing the rainforest, guidance, and healing, a way for him to connect with his Colombian ancestors.
Almost kind of like a blessing, you know? It's almost like a prayer, you know? So for that prayer to be just transferred throughout the world, on a stamp, it's just spreading a message, you know. It's just like a slight little pin drop, but it's just trying to do good wherever I can do good with my artwork.
These new pieces will highlight the different diversities of the United States' culture around the country. These will be forever stamps and available nationwide. In Phoenix, Brianna Steele, Cronkite News. You can now purchase these stamps online and in-store in sets of 20 to use for any letters you may send. In the newsroom, Brianna Steele, Cronkite News.
Turning to weather now, spring may be here, but the temperatures are still hovering a lot lower than normal.
Sarah Blue joins us now in the Cronkite News Weather Center. Sarah, when are we expecting some warmer weathers?
Well, we can start to see some warming temperatures tomorrow, but we have been in a cold spell recently. We've seen 20 days that are below average temperatures so far this month. But tomorrow, we're going to see our first day that's in the 80s that we've seen in a while. We're going to see 70s through most of the day. Reaching 80 is our high in the afternoon tomorrow. We also have a high pollen count tomorrow, so if you have allergies, beware. We're going to have high pollen on Tuesday and Wednesday. That's going to drop a little bit on Thursday, though, because we have a storm system coming in that's going to help clear out that air. So, big picture, we're looking at a high-pressure ridge building that's going to promote those warmer temperatures over the next few days. Starting on Thursday, we have a low pressure system that's going to start to move in and bring those storms around midday to mid-afternoon across the state, mostly concentrated up in the high country. That's going to hang around through Thursday and start to clear itself out on Friday. But with that storm, we have a chance of those high winds. We're going to see sustained winds of about 30 miles per hour in the high country, with gusts that could reach all the way up to 45 miles per hour in the high country. But that's farther out. We have a beautiful day on tap for tomorrow. We have those 70s and 80s through the lower deserts, seeing those 70s through the western part of the state, 80 in Yuma, seeing those 60s in 64 in Sedona and Prescott, 51 in Flagstaff. but with a warmer day on tap and this storm system that is coming in, we have a chance of flooding in the rivers through the valley. There's a flood warning that's in place everywhere in that green. That extends all the way through Friday, but the National Weather Service may extend it because we have a warm-up coming after the weekend. So we're looking at 80s tomorrow, warming up to 82 on Wednesday. A huge temperature drop as we have that storm system come through on Thursday. We're going to gradually be warming up, staying in those 70s until about this time next week when we have those 80s return. From the Cronkite News Weather Center, I'm Sarah Blue.
All right, thanks, Sarah. New data shows that most Americans are being less generous when they tip.
This comes after more places than ever before are asking for gratuities. Close to 50% of fast food restaurants now ask customers if they would like to give a little extra pay to the staff. That includes places like McDonald's and Starbucks. According to Toast, a restaurant-based software company, at the same time, Americans are being tight with their wallets. The average tip was about 15% last quarter. Last year, it was 16.4%. Experts say inflation is among the reasons why people are tipping less.
And turning to travel, with spring in full swing, and summer just around the corner, spring break travels are ramping up. Industry numbers are expecting to top pre-pandemic travel numbers, with 158 million travelers estimated to fly for break. This year, many spring breakers are dealing with cancellations and delays due to the continuing worker shortage in the travel industry. Airfare prices are up 4% compared to 2019, and the top travel destinations for the season are Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Orlando, Miami, and here in Phoenix.
I'm Sammy Miller. Coming up after the break, I'll have your Cronkite Sports Report. ASU Swim took home second place at the NCAA Championships this weekend thanks to a young star.
When you support Arizona PBS, you plant a seed. Seeds that provide educational outreach in our community. Seeds that put our digital resources to work. Seeds that foster the trusted news coverage you expect from PBS. And seeds that continue the amazing PBS programs you love. But our garden can't keep growing without your support. Visit our website to see all the ways you can help our garden grow. Plant a seed with Arizona PBS today.
My heart is racing right now.
Fasten your seatbelt.
You're uncovering the truth.
These are consequential things. Yeah.
Oh, look at everybody.
I feel the presence of all these people.
I've got history.
No. I wish my mom could be here to see this.
Amazing. It's like the most vital stuff, right?
Tuesdays on Arizona PBS.
Welcome to the Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Sammy Miller. Here in Phoenix, the NFL meetings are underway. Owners and coaches from all 32 NFL teams will discuss the state of the National Football League, as well as open up about their team's off-season moves. For more on the meetings, our Jack Pearson joins us from the Biltmore in Phoenix. Jack?
Yeah, this morning, all the coaches from the AFC spoke to the media, and the biggest storyline coming out was a tweet sent out by Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson announcing that he requested a trade back on March 2nd. We're just hearing the news now, and it happened right as Coach John Harbaugh started talking to the media. Coincidence? Probably not. Other storylines coming out of these meetings this week are proposed rule changes. We spoke to Titans head coach Mike Vrabel, who says that it's likely that roughing the passer and personal foul penalties will not be reviewable coming up next season, much to the disappointment of NFL fans. And there's still ongoing talks about the Commanders' owner selling his team after reports of a toxic work culture, including sexual harassment and news of some financial misconduct. Tomorrow, Jonathan Gannon of the Arizona Cardinals, along with the other head coaches from the NFC, is set to talk, and we'll give you all the updates as the week progresses. In Phoenix, Jack Pearson, Cronkite News.
ASU is no longer dancing in March Madness, but the men's swim team is having its own Marshawn Madness as the young sophomore dominated the NCAA championships this weekend. Marshawn's Herculean effort led the Sun Devils to second place in the NCAA championships, their highest finish in program history. He sets NCAA records in the 200-yard breaststroke, the 400 and 200-yard IM, and was a part of 4 ASU relay records set in Minneapolis. Marshawn also completed the perfect season, winning all 26 individual events he competed in and breaking the NCAA record 6 times across 3 different events. The Sun Devils had never finished higher than 6 before this weekend. One thing is for sure, the future is definitely bright in Tempe. And ASU Women's Golf hosted the Ping Invitational at Papago Golf Club this weekend. The Sun Devils finished with a team score of 6 under par, beat by only one team, Northwestern, which shot 18 under par. It was a mix of solid play both off the tee box and on the greens for ASU over the 3-day period. The tournament was hosted by ASU at their home course, Papago, and featured teams from across the country.
Really good week for our team. We beat 3 teams that are ranked ahead of us inside the top 10. So this is the time when everything counts. Everything we do, every round counts.
From the greens to the diamond, ASU is swinging hot bats as the Sun Devils swept their in-state rival, Arizona, in an eventful 10-6 victory yesterday. It's the first sweep over the Wildcats since 2019, and over 17,000 fans were on hand for the 3-game series, setting an attendance record at Phoenix Muni for a 3-game set. ASU head coach Willie Bloomquist was excited about what he saw from his team.
This is why I came back here. Get them to understand what this means, what Sun Devil baseball means to me, what it means to a lot of people in this community, our alumni, fans, people that have been here and seen this program grow to, to the heights that it was, and I think everybody's, hungry to get it back.
Former Hamilton High School star Cody Bellinger, who spent 6 years in Dodger blue winning a World Series with LA, has now transitioned to a new shade of blue. Cronkite sports reporter Nick Hogan has the latest on the Cubs' new additions.
After an eventful offseason, the Chicago Cubs have brought in a lot of new faces, including Cody Bellinger, Dansby Swanson, and Eric Hosmer, amongst others. And the excitement is building heading into the season.
We all saw how the year ended for them last year. They ended really hot, so we feel like, if they can continue on with that play and we can come in and kind of help these guys out, then we can be where we want to be at the end of the year.
The club's biggest move of the offseason may have been the addition of Swanson. The shortstop played the first 7 years of his career in Atlanta before signing a 7-year, $177 million deal with the Cubs.
For me personally, I'm a very routine-oriented person. Atlanta is home. I haven't left home in over 7 years, so just the newness and everything like that can be a challenge just for me in general.
Despite the quantity of new faces inside of the clubhouse, the new-look Cubs are molding together quite well. There's several factors that have led to the smooth transition.
I feel like I know them all already because, played against them for so long. Like Hosmer in his time in Kansas City, faced him for 4 or 5 years straight. Mancini with Baltimore and Houston last year. I feel like I know these guys on a personal level.
The Cubs hope that familiarity will lead to success on the field. In Mesa, Nick Hogan, Cronkite Sports.
Well, that's it for the Cronkite Sports Report. Back to you, Miriam and John.
Thanks, Sammy. Still to come on Cronkite News.
It's time to look at the stars. You won't even need a telescope to see this event that only happens every few years.
Phoenix is just beautiful today. Let's take a look at the weather around the valley.
Thank you for joining us for the special edition of Cronkite News.
Here are the top stories that we're tracking today at noon.
Some of the best players for their program.
Stream the best of PBS on any device with the PBS Video app. All your favorite drama, history, science, news, and documentaries, all in one place. Watch your PBS station live or catch up on the shows you missed. Discover new favorites from PBS and locally produced shows from your station.
Sign in and start streaming today.
Now on Passport.
What are you looking for in your life?
There's an important story that needs to be told.
Is it a sense of your own destiny?
Choose your story.
Try to help create change in some way.
It's a beautiful thing. Not very many people get to see.
Once you come into the neighborhood, you are a part of the family.
You can be a good person or a bad person. It's your choice.
Stop complaining and go actually do something.
Now you can stream even more documentaries with Passport on the PBS Video app.
A special event for stargazers will begin this week.
Yeah, and you won't even need a telescope to take in the views. The planets Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Uranus aligned on Friday and will stay single file for the next couple weeks. Experts say the best night to view the 5-planet alignment will be right after sunset on Tuesday.
These events happen every couple of years, and scientists say it will be visible to the naked eye, adding that even those in areas with high light pollution will be able to see it. That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thank you for joining us.
For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org. Have a great night.